Welcome to the Takeout Effect brought to you by Business Takeout. I'm your host, and my name is Banki. The Takeout Effect brings real conversation to business, in business. Today's guest has been baking and cooking for over 20 years. She's been featured on the Food Network. She also have been catering at many networking events, have even received awards by Blacks in 2019 for the best award for the best baker. Um, she is amazing. I'd like to introduce everyone to Amanda Hamer. Hi, Amanda. How are you?
Good afternoon. I'm fantastic.
Amazing. So there was so much I have to say because there's so much about you, and I would really like the audience to know a lot about your journey and what has brought you to where you are today. So welcome.
Thank
Let's
you.
start and
It's
dive
great to
right
be
in.
here. It is great to
um,
be here.
yes, it is. So to dive right into it, who is Amanda as a person?
Amanda,
Not yes.
Amanda is spiritual. She's
Mm-hmm.
funny. She's inquisitive about outer space, about other intelligence. She
Okay.
loves to bake. She loves the arts, anything arts, music, dance, fashion, singing. My next career path could be singing, I would venture out in that.
Me too, but I don't have to. I love your background, by the way. It really speaks into your personality, the things you've mentioned about being artistic and everything. So I definitely love it.
Thank you.
So you started off going to George Brown, taking culinary arts, right? That's really where your journey have started. Um, Tell us a little bit about why did you choose to get into that field? I can tell you, me specifically, I started off um, doing going in college for human resource management, and I end up being a web designer. For
Oh,
you, how did you? I say that because I know a lot of people at a young age when they go into college, they go into it and end up being something completely different from what they step into.
mhm.
So how did you know that that was the right field for you?
I think coming out of the womb, I knew. My mom used to tell me stories about me playing in the toilet, and I would take her pots and pans and I would bang in the toilet and pretend I was making soup or chicken. I would go underneath the cupboard where the pots and the oils were, and I would just bang up pots. So she's like, there's something here. So it was just within
Mm.
me. And when I went to camp at a young age, I excelled at when they taught us how to bake cookies and pies and stuff. I just excelled at it.
Amazing. So a
Mhm.
lot of people don't know their passion from a young age, but you're able to really figure it out, and everyone around you figured it out as well.
Yes.
What about your grandma's cooking?
I never knew my grandmother.
Oh, you know what? Was it your mom? I saw it on your website that
Oh, my mom. Sorry, my mom. I thought you said my
okay.
grandmother. My mom.
Okay.
Yes, my mom was an amazing cook. I learned so much from her. She mostly made West Indian foods, and at the time, I didn't
Mhm.
appreciate it. I
Okay.
didn't understand, or the depths and the stuff that she took from Guyana and brought it here, and made us taste her culture, buying us
Yeah.
McDonald's and stuff like that. I didn't appreciate it back then, but I really appreciate it now, because I incorporate some of those ingredients and the style that she cooks into my food and menu today.
Okay. And which was my next question was what type of dish do you prepare most of the time?
Uh, I, well, I try to do a fusion of foods. So
Hmm.
the story goes that my best friend is Asian, I'm Canadian, and my mom is West Indian. She's from Guyana. So I fuse different ingredients into my dishes. Um, I love to do a plantain lasagna. Instead of noodles, you do a traditional sweet plantain. That's one of my favorites. Then I do a Jamaican rum cake cheesecake. That's my top seller. So the base is like rum cake, traditional rum cake where you soak the rums for like, well, I don't have time to soak the rums for months. And then you
Hmm.
do like a New York style cheesecake. So yeah.
I want to try that one day. I can't wait till COVID is done.
Mhm.
So you were working full time, and then you were doing catering part time. And I believe it's in 2018 you decided to take a leap of faith and decided to do your catering as your full time thing. Why did you, or what brought you to taking that leap of faith?
Um, there was a lot of feedback and comments on how good my cooking was. A lot of people
Hmm.
come back to the restaurants and say, I want that girl to make me this, da 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 da, and make it like this. And I was like, I think I could do this on my own. I don't know how. And then also, I saw what I was making every 2 weeks, and I was like, there's got to be a way to make more money doing this on my own. Yes, it's harder, but there's got to be a way. And I just the money that I was bringing in every 2 weeks, it just didn't make sense. So I decided to take a leap of faith. And 2.5 years later, I'm here, and I just honestly, it's the best decision I ever made.
Amazing. And that has always been a struggle for pretty much a lot of people that I know. They have a full time job that they hate. They have their passion, on the side, and it's really a hard decision to really, make that decision to just dive right in. So I'm glad that you did that. So now you are an example for others who are trying to do the same.
Yeah. But can
And
I
you
say
were,
this? Can
yeah.
I say this? I while I was doing those full 9 to 5 jobs, I was doing Edible Bliss on the side. So I was learning how to, coordinate with customers and do things on the side. And then eventually I just branched out, So that's a trick, doing it your side hustle on the side as you have
Mhm.
your 9 to 5, and then just finally taking the leap. And as you're doing that, you're growing your clientele, you're growing your business sense, you're just growing, you know.
Yeah. And that's amazing. And that is so right because you really have to know the steps before taking that leap. And we'll get back to that's a question we're going to get into very soon. Um, the Food Network, you were featured on there. Was it called the Donut Shutdown?
Showdown. Yes. Um, at the time, I did not know how to make donuts. I've never been on TV before. Uh, I had really bad digestive issues. It's gotten really better now. So I had all this
Hmm.
fear of, oh my God, make me taste these donuts and have gluten in them, and what am I going to do? But I went on show. It was one of the best experience of my life, and I got so much exposure. I didn't win, came in second place, but I got so much exposure, and just
Okay.
to see how they work behind the scenes, great. Like we made TV because I had my partner. He was a flamboyant gay dude, and I was a sassy black girl. And there's one part of the show where he forgot the donut in the proofer, and the countdown is going down, and that's what made us fall behind. But we did phenomenal. It was a great show.
Okay. And you said you didn't win. I thought you said you did, and I realized you did not win, but the experience in itself was amazing. That's always
Awesome.
good. That's
Yeah.
always good. And the Best Baker Award in 2019. How was that?
Honestly, to be recognized in the city of Toronto to be one of the best, it's I'm self-taught. I went to school for culinary, for cooking. I didn't go to
Hmm.
school for baking.
Yes.
So the trick is someone sends me an image and I just learn. I watch YouTube videos, practice, and I just get better and better and learning techniques. So I'm self-taught on how to bake cakes, but I love doing it because it's artistic. So when I was recognized for the best baker in 2019, I was just ecstatic. I got a plaque and everything. It's hanging on my bedroom wall. Just it's amazing. It's just growth.
Yes, and it's amazing. Basically, the award was by Blacks, which is ranked the top award-winning online magazine focused exclusively on telling Black stories. So
Amazing.
yeah, it's just amazing, and I'm really happy that you got that award. I've seen a lot of your pictures of food that you've done, that you've made, and I'm like, it makes me hungry.
Awesome.
Um,
I'm doing the
so you're
trick.
doing, yeah. So you're doing good in 2019, and then 2020 came. COVID came. How did you do
Girl,
catering? What did you do, and how are you coping
it,
with it now?
I won't lie, in the beginning it was very tough, and I took a bit of a couple months, took a break, because I was just like, how am I going to make money? How am I going to navigate? It was very tough, and I had a bunch of people just call me after, because I had the full month of March booked. By
Hmm.
one, everybody called and canceled, canceled, canceled. So I was like, oh boy, how am I going to make money? I'm going to support my kids, myself. So I did take a little bit more break, a bit more of a break, April, May. Then May, I said, you know what? I'm going to do private dining. People, the stores closed down, the restaurants are closed down. I'm going to give people experience in their home. I had to
Okay,
take safety measures, of course, wearing my mask and being respectful of, having people stay a distance. But I would go into people's homes, I would offer them a three-course meal and give them the experience that they would have in a restaurant. So
nice.
I posted it, and that kind of took off. People loved the idea, and I'm still doing that today. So I've done a couple of those, and that keeps me afloat. And then now, um, I'm doing takeout menus. And then here and there, people are still, even if people are celebrating with two people or by themselves, they still want their cake and eat it too. So people are still ordering cakes. Yeah, so I've been surviving.
Yes, I can understand the creativity that you are forced to then do because of the limitations that's around. For those who are watching outside of Ontario, we are still on an emergency lockdown, and there's a lot of restrictions now, more than we've had in the last bit of while. I think it just happened within the last couple of days. That was it this morning? I got a notification on my phone saying stay home.
Wow.
Yeah, so basically now we're going to get back to that question that we were starting earlier, and that was tips for anyone who wants to turn their 9 to 5, leave their 9 to 5, and start what they were doing on the side as a hustle to make that into their main source of income. What type of tips would you have for anyone who wants to leave their 9 to 5 and pursue their dreams as an entrepreneur?
I would say research. Do a lot of research,
Mhm.
connect to people. I know that we're in COVID right now, but what I did is I went to a lot of networking events and I connected with people that can leverage me. Um, I just I watched a lot of YouTube videos. I just studied. You know what I mean? Like what to do here, what. And then my good friend, she's also had a restaurant, and she knew the background of how to run the business and food. And you just keep researching and then connecting, and it all fall into place.
Nice. Um, so basically, do a lot of research. You mentioned before about just understanding what the process is when you have clients. So when you were doing your 9 to 5 and you had your side hustle, you were doing a lot of just understanding what the process is in the job that you do, how you communicate with customers, and how you get from point A, which is from getting the customer, to point B to complete the actual catering, the process involved in there. I think that's really crucial as well because not many people really take into consideration just having a standard form of um, of process that you follow all the time, so that way
Yeah,
you can look at the process and really see if it's one moment, really see if the process is in line with, if there's any way to automate it, for example, if there's any way to smooth it out. So I think that's amazing.
yeah.
Um,
I had to, sometimes I had to learn the hard way. And even with your own friends, sometimes they'll say, okay, I want a certain product, and then you'll make it. And you think because they're your friend, they'll show up or
mhm.
pay, and they don't. They leave you hanging, and you have this product. So you have to know your self-worth. You have to get your money up front, whether it's 50% or you make them pay before. But also know your self-worth. I've had many, many times I keep saying to myself, give 110% the product. So if I say something's $30 and people knock, oh well, can I just have it for 20? It's like if you really want to support me, you pay this what I what the cost is. Because you're not gonna go to Costco and say, oh well, I don't have, can I just pay $20? So you have to know your self-worth, you have to stick with it. And this is a daily reminder to myself, but I used to give away a lot of stuff. Oh, I'll just put this in, but no, you got to know your self-worth. Yeah.
That's important. And putting a value on that is really important. There's so many times that as entrepreneurs, we undersell ourselves. So knowing what
Oh,
your
yes.
value is, definitely knowing the quality of work. Oh, those rum cakes. Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
So yeah.
People don't understand the process of the rum cake. It's like a two-part process. You gotta soak and blend the fruits. The alcohol is not cheap. You gotta blend that
Mhm.
and then bake the cake and then make the batter for the cheesecake and then put that together. And that takes another hour a bit. Then you gotta cool it. Then you gotta like this steps and the levels to it. So yeah.
Okay. Yes, I agree totally, 100%. So other than catering, any other services that you offer? I know that you've worked
Um.
for restaurants in the past.
hmm.
So go ahead.
Uh, I have a soft spot for people who have food sensitivities. So
Okay.
if anybody comes to me, they see something on my menu that they can't have, but they want to change it up or have an alternative. I try to accommodate that because I myself have a lot of food sensitivities. So
Hmm.
that's something that I'm pushing for more and more healthy eating. Introducing things like today, this morning, I just had buckwheat. I'm sure a lot of people have not had buckwheat or pheno or amaranth or F or all these different grains that you can pair instead of eating with your food, instead of eating rice all the time. Um, just teaching people healthier alternative ways is what I love to do.
Okay. And online teaching, cooking classes? Do you do that?
Online, yes. I started with kids, and it's the last one was so much fun. Between the ages of 5 and 10. So I have another one
Hmm.
coming up on the 15th, and I'm actually going to teach them how to make blueberry barbecue sauce, some coconut chicken fingers, and some Parmesan wedges. Something easy but fun, and
Nice.
they have the recipe, and if they want to make it again for their family, yeah, something different.
I love it. You know what? I really applaud your creativity. When everyone else would be looking to do like cooking classes for adults, for example, you're focusing on kids, which I think is beautiful. I think that, trying something different that they normally wouldn't cook at home really would you know, open up to new
Yeah,
experiences. During COVID, a lot of kids are home and they need things to do.
exactly.
So definitely love it. What's the future for Edible Bliss 11?
The future is my dream, and they say to speak it into existence. I don't know what COVID has in store for us, but my dream is to have a cafe and
Hmm.
I have so many more desserts than just the cheesecake. Everybody just knows me for the cheesecake, but I just want to show my skills. So a cafe. I wasn't going to announce this, but I guess I'll announce it now. There is a soon to be all black owned store in Scarborough Town Center, and I'm going to be a part of that, displaying some of my desserts. So I'm super excited for that. It's supposed to be coming. It's supposed to open at the end of May.
Okay,
So yeah. Hmm.
that is amazing, and we need a lot more of that. Definitely. I'll be leaving Newmarket to travel to Scarborough Town Center.
Yes. Mhm.
um, I'm gonna take a chance to really go through some of the comments. I'm wondering if my producer can pull up a few of them. Arlette, okay, so Arlette is saying hi. Hi, Arlette.
Hi.
Maxine says, I love how you pivot quickly and offered in home dining. I've always wanted to experience this. You know what? This is like a great idea. I can see that for Valentine's, a special occasion, anniversaries. I think this is amazing.
I've
Maxine says,
had wives and husbands surprise each other. Like they'll walk into the house, they see this chick in a uniform in their house, like just cooking. They're like, "Oh, what's going on?" It's just a beautiful experience. I love it.
amazing. Maxine also says, this is so inspiring. I love your creativity too. Great conversation, ladies. Yes, one thing I have to applaud you for is being able to be so creative during COVID because a lot of restaurants that I know of are struggling right now. And the fact that you're able to be so creative, one, for doing the in-home dining, I think that's an absolutely amazing idea. And doing the cooking classes for the kids, the virtual cooking classes, I also think that is amazing. And I'm going to go back to your Instagram and really pull up more information about it as well. There was the one from Joel, the first Joel, yes. Oh, I can't wait for that. So he was talking about the black-owned restaurant
The
and
black-owned store.
also
The black-owned store.
black-owned store. Yes, thank you
Yeah.
for correcting me. And he also says correct. I'm not sure if it's a he or she, so I apologize if I have it wrong. And Sandra says, I didn't get that about the black owned in Scarborough Town. So it's a black owned store, and inside the store there is a dessert part or a cooking part. Can you describe it?
No. Oh, so it'll be a bunch of products from like journals, candles, lotions, hair products, food products, desserts, Scarborough Town Center.
Okay, amazing.
Mhm.
And then Arlette says, I love the idea about the in-home cooking classes. I love it too.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, if you were to leave with a final word that would inspire others, what would you say for the last question of this?
Um, Everything so scary, but it's just really not. It's really not. Just find mentors,
Mm-hmm.
find people that will encourage you and will hold you accountable. But nothing is too small. Everything is attainable. And feed your mind the right type of tools to get you to the next level.
Amazing.
I had no idea that I'd be at this level. I mean, there's so much more growth, but I didn't never saw myself here at all. And
Mm.
I'm so proud of myself.
Just thinking, just
Yeah.
thinking, if you were at still doing your 9 to 5, you would have been holding yourself back. So,
Girl. Trust me.
it's just amazing. So, thank you, Amanda, for taking a leap of faith. Thank you for your creativity, and thank you for just doing what you do.
Thank you. I love this show. I honestly, I'm really, really honored to be on this show. And I'm glad that you want to learn more about me. I'm just so honored.
It's been a pleasure, and I might bring you on again if you're okay with that. But we'll talk about that afterwards. How can everyone get a hold of you?
So I'm on Instagram at Edible Bliss11. You can check out my website at www.ediblebliss11. And I'm on Facebook as Amanda Hamer on M.
Okay, perfect. Well, I'd like to thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the audience for watching today, and please feel free to like and share and subscribe if you're watching from YouTube. And have yourself a great day. Bye, everyone.